Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast, where today we will talk about a topic that we consider important in our daily lives: how to deal with cultural difference and promote positive coexistence. In a world that is so connected yet so diverse, learning to understand and respect each other is an important than ever. We are enjoyed by Valeria, Ingrid, Melanie, Nadia, Luisa, Daira, Besieli, Jocelyn, and me, Sebastian. And together we will talk about different situations where cultural difference can create changes, but also opportunities to learn and grow as a society. We will talk about personal experiences and what actions we can take to foster tolerance and respect. Now, I ask Daira and Valeria how human relationships have changed with the use of internet, social media, and globalization.
I think the internet, social media, and globalization have significantly transformed human relationships, altering how we connect and communicate, and also how we understand another. These tools have made it easier to maintain relationships across distances, allowing families and friends to stay in touch regardless of location. Social media, in particular, enables people to share their lives instantly, creating a sense of closeness even when apart. However, these interactions can sometimes lack of deep of face-to-face communication, as they are often shaped by curated content and brief exchanges. The globalization also has expanded the scope of human connections, making it possible to build relationships with people from diverse cultures and backgrounds. While it fosters greater understanding and enriches interactions, it can also lead to challenges such as cultural misunderstandings or language barriers. At the same time, social media has introduced new forms of social validation, where likes, comments, and followers shape how people view themselves and others.
And I'm going to respond the question how human relationships have changed with the use of internet, social media, and globalization. Well, the internet, social media, and globalization uh, have a profound impact on the human relationships. They offer unprecedented opportunity for global connection, the formation of virtual communities, and the ability to maintain relationships across distances. They also bring challenges such as the erosions to face communication skill, the rise of superficial online interaction, and concerns about privacy and mental health. The future of human relationships in the digital age will depend on how we navigate these complexities balances the benefits of connectivity with the need of authentic, meaningful personal interaction. And well, one of them, as many challenges, can be like cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is a type of harassment that can take people to have a negative behavior, and this can affect how is it going to be with the social media and the internet. It can be like a risk. So we are going to take more seriously about how we can affront this problem.
Thank you very much, girls. Now, Nadia, can you tell me, have you been in a difficult situation due to cultural differences?
Yes, I was once in a challenging situation while working on a project with an international team. During a meeting, I proposed an idea that I thought was very interesting, but some team's members remained silent. At first, I didn't interpret their reaction as a lack of interest or even rejection. This made me feel insecure and question whether I should continue sharing my ideas. However, I later learned that in their culture, silence didn't mean disinterest. On the contrary, it was a sign of respect and reflection before giving a response. They wanted to carefully analyze that what I had said to provide a more thoughtful and considerate opinion. That experience taught me to be more patient, to avoid jumping to conclusions, and to understand that communication styles can vary greatly across cultures. Since then, I've come to value those differences and try to adapt their multicultural context. Although it was uncomfortable at first, it was a lesson that helped me grow both personally and professionally.
I see. Fortunately, I have never been in a difficult situation because of that, since the only time I interacted with someone from a different culture was when I went to the United States, and it was not a problem for me. Now we will move to Ingrid and Besieli. Tell me, what problems could be caused by rejection of differences and lack or of tolerance?
And answering the question that my partner asked, I think that the rejection of cultural differences and lack of tolerance can have serious effects on both a personal and a social level. On an individual level, rejected people may experience insecurity or low self esteem, anxiety, or feel isolated since they feel the need to hide their identity to fit in. Socially, intolerance reinforces prejudices and stereotypes, creating divisions and conflicts between groups, which hinders coexistence and reduces opportunities for collaboration. This weakens the social fabric and limits the potential for a collective growth, preventing diversity from being exploited as a source of cultural enrichment and mutual learning.
In my opinion, the problems that rejection of differences and lack of tolerance can cause are that they can lead to low self-esteem in the other person. It could also cause depression, anxiety, sensitivity, some disorders. They can feel bad about who they are and have to pretend to be someone they aren't just to fit in, causing them to act in a certain established way and not how they originally are. This could end up causing a decrease of their own authenticity and causing them to leave behind an image of someone who doesn't exist, as it were a mask. There is a condition called RSD, which causes you to feel severe emotional pain when you feel rejected by something or someone. Some symptoms are not being able to control your emotion, isolation, negative words towards oneself, codependency when there is no parental figure to guide correct and positive actions. For example, having experience of having parents who do not take care of their children's emotion into account can create an attachment disorder. For example, anxious, avoidant, attachment avoidant, and more.
So interesting. And you, Melanie and Jocelyn, tell me, which negative emotions could be present when a person from a minority group is rejected or left out?
Thank you for bringing up this topic, as it is important. I think one of the most common emotions that arises in the situation is sadness. Being rejected, especially for something as fundamental as your identity, can be devastating. That feeling of not belonging or being below can cause a person to question their personal worth, like frustration. Imagining trying to fit in or simply exist in space and constantly running into barriers. That frustration can come from the fact that no matter how hard you try, society continues to see you as the other. Another emotion that can be seen a lot is anger. Sometimes that reaction can trigger anger because it is not something you chose. You didn't ask to be born with a different identity than the majority, but they make you pay for it, whether through direct discrimination or simply ignoring you.
As my colleague comments, that anger can also be accompanied by a feeling of helplessness, don't you think? As if you can't change the situation no matter how hard you try. That helplessness, I believe, is what makes many lose hope or distance themselves from certain spaces. Into this, I would add fear of exposing yourself, of being rejected again, or even fear of retaliation if you decide to speak out against exclusion. That fear can be paralyzing, and we cannot forget the loneliness. When you are part of a minority and you're excluded, you feel like no one understands what you're going on through. That disconnection from others can be very hard, but I think it's also important to highlight something. Recognizing these emotions is the first step to healing. We can start by talking about it, seek support in our community, and when it's possible, access to mental health resources.
Perfect. And finally, you can tell me, Valentina and Diego, which actions could you take to avoid even when you are not directly involved? Is it best to take actions or to mind your own business?
Personally, if I would get involved in a problem of this type, since if an injustice is being committed or someone is being discriminated against just for belonging to a different culture, for professing some other type of religion because of their skin color, among others, well, they would be committing something that can harm someone. And if it's in my hands to be able to improve the situation, well, if it would honestly help, if otherwise, I think that interfering in the problem can affect me or third parties. I think the prudent thing would be to get away and keep a margin. And the actions that I would take would be that if I am at school, I would tell to the teacher to do something about it, and I will also let the affected person know that I'm on their side and that I am to listen to his or her concerns.
To avoid all these bad situations, we must be more respectful with everyone. Don't follow the stereotypes, and the thing that we can do is be more informed about the different cultures, about the traditions, and what they do as a culture, so as not to disrespect them and be a happy community. Yeah, this concerns also because around the world, the cultural discrimination is still being a normal thing in some places. If we can change this, the community would never take a good place to all these people, all these people that can be discriminated, and also generate a bad answer by the workers in the fact that they can do a group work in some places. The better way to fight with this as a community is together and take actions to avoid all these problems, even if we're not involved in them, because as a community we have to